Here we go. Welcome to episode 8.
Mahalo.
Do we have what's this podcast mainly on? What are we calling it?
Reboots.
Reboots.
Reboots and reboots.
Delving into the Universal Monsters, Reboots, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Pet Peeves segment yet again, and then you get to hear a couple songs performed by
Yours truly.
yours truly.
Us truly.
Mr. Lunn.
To basically explain it, it's recorded in 2 different areas. And so if you hear a difference in sound quality or reverb, that's why.
We apologise.
And then, deal with it. It's part of the fun of podcasting.
Exactly.
And there's 2 little songs. I might put one at the beginning and one at the end, or both at the beginning.
Yeah.
That we just randomly played because it was silly and fun. So yeah, it's choppy, but enjoy the podcast.
It's choppy, it's daft, but it's a good one.
This week, me and Matty are going to download, so we were not sure when this one comes out. We're not sure if there's going to be a en route download podcast.
Yeah.
But there will definitely be like a overview when we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Frying pans.
Oxbloods have a gig coming up.
We'll talk more about that in a bit, but that is at the Tudor in Wigan
And it's free, so
on July the 20th.
worth looking into.
Yeah. Frying pans.
Frying pans.
Frying pans.
That's one main subject. If you get to the end and realise
You
what
won't
we're
get
talking
that,
about, send us a photo of your frying pan. Your favourite frying pan, actually. Oh,
Yeah.
any bullshit.
Your best frying pan.
Where can you get in contact with us?
So you can check us out on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter, and now YouTube at An Earful Podcast.
yeah.
Go subscribe, comment.
If you didn't hear that, again, that is An Earful Podcast.
And if you didn't know, episode 8 was like a goal, a milestone I wanted to get to. It's a big thing, so tell me it's a big thing, but it's not that bad. Cheers, Mike.
Sorry, mate.
Thanks,
that was
mate.
that was like one of your your emotional speech, wasn't it?
It was. I was
interrupted it.
channeling my inner Dr. King. And you fucking shat on it. So,
You ruined it.
thank you very much. I'll hit you with a frying pan.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Snug time.
Oh, baby.
Whoa.
Should I play some music while she gets snugged? Hang on. This is the snug song.
This is probably the comfiest podcast I will ever do.
Sitting on the couch, we feel quite comfy. What, like, give me a nog?
To think like an 8-episode montage of the photo of just me and Matty cuddled up.
Oh, mate.
What the fuck are we doing? Jesus. Well,
Anyway, where was we?
We've got to cut that out of the podcast.
have you seen the editing I do? It's just very basic.
You'll see what I do.
There we go. It begins.
It does.
Let's do this.
Episode.
Do you know what episode it is?
It's episode 8.
It is.
Yes.
Actually made it to episode 8.
How do you feel?
This was my only goal in life. So after this, I'm gonna kill myself.
This is my
'Cause I
only
have nothing to
purpose.
live for now. Yeah, pretty decent actually. Considering,
I'm quite surprised at the fact we've done 8 episodes of this.
yeah, it's been fun. It's not ending, but I don't
2
know why.
months of this.
I mean, this is before we've even started with the interviews yet as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted.
Getting guests
There's no
on.
way I wanted to do it on my own, so I dragged you two into it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just got better and better ideas. My only goal was episode 8, so I have nothing to live for anymore.
Apart from episode 9.
Ooh, if anyone listens to it. We'll just jump to episode 10. No one releases episode 9.
No, just skip it.
Mm.
So what would you want to do now? Like future plans and like podcasts. What do you want next for this?
Well, I've been obsessed with podcasts out of all of us.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little unhealthy. Interviewing people, we definitely want to do.
100%.
We want to interview bands, local
Yes.
bands, friends of ours that are talented,
Yeah.
who we like talking to and think do something decent. Yeah, that's what I want. What do you both want from it?
I want to interview more bands, like you said. Obviously, get more guests.
Yeah.
And go from there. But that's a coming thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got a little Google form as well that I want listeners to fill out so we can decide what people like and what people dislike and make it better.
Yes.
That's the thing with podcasts. The first couple tend to be shit, and then by episode 50...
You just got to refine it and know what makes it work. And
Yeah, it's like your first band. It's going to be bad, but it's going to be bad collectively.
You're going to learn your mistakes and then go on from...
That's it, so...
Yeah, we're on band 435.
YouTube, definitely.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, massively.
What do you both want from the podcast? Relatively the same thing.
yeah,
I'd say so,
I'm just looking forward to getting guests in, and
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to that.
because when we did the guest spot with Alex,
With Alex, yeah.
that was pretty good.
Alex is such a character as well. It
Yeah.
really lifted the podcast. I
Yeah,
think.
that was
It
good
really
fun. Really enjoyed that.
How do you both feel about podcasts? Because you both, I don't think we're huge into it. I'm obsessed with some of them.
I remember when you first started talking about podcasts to me, and it was that you're like, "Oh, I've got all these podcasts and shit like that," and I was like, "Why the fuck are you listening to podcasts?" And then it was only like the past year where you've kind of
There
like
it
been
is,
like,
the honesty.
because it wasn't a massive thing then. It wasn't. It
No.
really was. It was like a really niche thing.
I think it was when I started uni or something.
Yeah, and then it was when you started mentioning. Oh, wow.
That was a power sneeze.
Can't wait to edit that later.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I think it's only when you start mentioning, oh, I want to do a podcast, I want to try it out and stuff like that. I went, right, I'm going to try and actually listen to him. So it's then started with like the Daniel P. Carter ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Swim podcast is so good.
Yeah.
But obviously he's got so much experience from working at Radio 1.
Tell you what you introduced me to the other week, which I really actually enjoy, is the Downbeat podcast.
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
It is good.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, Craig Reynolds.
Dude. Absolutely. The Daniel P. Carter actual podcast episode, and that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people are starting to do podcasts now, because Steve-O's just recently set his own one up as well.
It's like the main one that I always remember was Ricky Gervais' show, which we just spoke about before starting this. But that had like a bit more production, and it wasn't as DIY.
Yeah.
It was like there's an animator, there's breaks in between, and it was Ricky and Steve Merchant taking the piss out of Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, when you've got Carl Pilkington on there, I mean,
it's
you're sorted.
yeah.
Like, you can just listen to him like chatting about crap.
You know
for
you've
ages.
got gold. haven't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
It was kind of weird because you think a podcast is the boring bits of radio, just the talking. But then like celebrities picked it up. So the biggest one is probably Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Which is an American comedian who's now interviewed thousands of people.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the giants in podcasting now.
Yeah, he's like the money he's probably made from it is crazy.
Yeah.
But I do like how anyone can just pick up a microphone, have a conversation with mates, and it's all
Friends!
Ooh,
friends! Podcast friends!
Is that a segment? Any guest that comes on? Podcast friends!
Yeah. It's definitely a shout out.
Yeah.
But like, see, I never thought about the talking stuff on radio to be bad. Like when I used to when I was in high school, listening to like Chris Miles and that in the morning.
See, I hated it.
Really?
I was just like, when's the next song? That's all I'm interested in.
See, I wasn't bothered about that.
But do you know what I did once? I remember when I was in high school, Chris Mose did that thing where he was on radio for, was it like 48 hours or something like that?
Yeah.
And I remember I had my headphones in with me and I was listening to it so I went to school. So when I was going into and I'd like secretly put my headphone in just go listen to it in class. And then we had PE as well, and I wrote myself a note out so I didn't have to do PE. So I could stand at the side with my headphones in and listen to Chris Miles.
As if.
Yeah.
The best thing about Chris Miles was where he did the one word weather with Nelson Mandela.
What?
It was like, one word weather with Nelson Mandela. And he got to write and he went, chilly. That was it.
Yeah.
Mint.
We're going to do a 24-hour podcast.
Could you imagine?
No.
How much coffee would we need?
Now, that's the only thing I'm interested in it for.
Yeah.
How much coffee can we
Yeah.
get through?
How many coffee breaks can Matt do?
Enough.
We needed some serious batch from North Star Coffee.
Yeah, if you want to reach out.
Hey, North Star.
Little shout out.
Wanna check us out?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, Lund's Coffees is the only reason we actually do it at Lund's.
And Ted.
And
Ted.
Ted. I think we
What's up,
bring
dude?
Ted with us.
I was not in a talking mood today.
Ted. But yeah, coffee is what we live for.
Mate, he looks pretty comfy though. Usually he's walking all over the table.
That's his usual spot.
Oh.
Oh, way up.
The beast is awake.
You watched the movie, didn't you? That's how I'm starting. Didn't you watch a movie once?
I did watch a movie once.
Did you? What was
I watched a movie. What was it called?
Rugrats in Paris.
Rugrats. The Wild Thornberries. Remember them?
it? Nigel Thornberry.
The Thornberries.
I remember that.
Thornberries.
No.
Was the chimp?
Yeah. Remember the because the Rugrats did a movie with the Thornberries, didn't they?
I don't know. I can't remember that much. And just
That's
know.
what people listen to this podcast for.
Wild
Rugrats and
Thornberries.
Thornberry.
Yeah, Google that shit.
If you don't remember that, I'll be amazed.
No,
It's
you're
a
gonna type in
town.
the Wild Thornberries.
Oh, my bad.
The Wild ones.
God.
Just reference.
There we go.
Just reference for everyone Googling this. The Wild Thornberries.
Wait, no.
Tim
it
Curry was in
no,
it.
it was a cartoon. Oh, he was in it. Tim Curry was in it.
Was
There you go. Do you not remember him with big nose?
I do. I just assumed Rugrats, but the more you know. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
remember this.
And that was that.
Right, so what did you watch the other day?
So to go on to the topic, let's talk about reboots, right? But first, the other night I watched. Mate, you're getting too close.
Previously, I'm Matthew
I feel
Ashton.
so close to you right now.
Casual self.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so the other night you watched a film.
Yep, I watched The Mummy, right? Not
On
the
which mummy?
Not the Brendan Fraser one, which
good
is
one.
very good. Because we all love the Brendan Fraser mummies, don't we?
For nostalgia, if you actually watch it again, it is not that much of a. It's not an amazing film, but for nostalgia reasons,
Well,
a
it's
good
better than
film.
the one I watched the other night, which
Okay.
was the Tom Cruise mummy.
Tom Cruise was in a mummy film.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Oh, you
And
know.
how good was it? Matty's review.
Was it actually that bad?
It was alright, but basically, so the new Mummy movie is like supposed to be for Universal, a complete reboot of the Universal Monsters.
Okay.
Which I don't know if any of you have seen any of the Universal Monsters.
I heard about it, but I've not.
I got the box set about a few years ago and decided to give it a go. So you're talking like all the old movies from like the 30s,
Yeah,
40s.
when did... Wait, so it's not reboots, because... So they're starting a universe, aren't they?
No. Basically, the Universal Monsters.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got Godzilla...
Well, no.
Wow, I'm way off.
No.
Way off.
You're talking The Invisible Man, Wolfman,
Oh,
Bride of
okay.
Frankenstein, Dracula,
Nice.
Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Has there never been
The
a
Mummy.
reboot of The Black Lagoon before?
Well, not long back, they were. What was he? Guillermo del Toro? Is that who you say his name?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah.
He made the film The Shape of Water. I don't know if anyone
Oh,
watched
yeah, I
it.
heard about that.
That's loosely based on Creature from the Black Lagoon. Because again, it's like an underwater creature, and the woman falls in love with it, and the creature falls in love with the woman, which is kind of what happens on the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
So that's loosely based on it. But anyway, this Mummy reboot they did was supposed to be the start of a whole dark universe,
Right.
as they're calling it, which is basically the reboot of the Universal Monsters. And there's several references throughout the film. I don't know if you guys have watched it, you'll get what I'm talking about. Where you actually meet Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. and basically he has to use this potion to stop his other half coming out and like destroying the whole world. But he goes around the world trying to find all these monsters.
When you say other half, you don't mean his wife. You
I can't remember which
not
one.
like his angry wife
No,
coming
no,
out
no,
of the house.
imagine.
You fucking bellend.
Dr. Jekyll!
But no,
You do the washing up last night.
Yeah, I can't remember who's who. I can't remember which one's the good one and which one's the bad one. I'm guessing Jekyll's the good one.
Yeah, it's Hyde. Mr. Hyde,
right.
which is the
bad one.
Do you not remember the series with what's his name? James Murphy. It was like BBC series. It was done by Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, I think I know what you're about.
That was called Jackal. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was like a 10-part series.
I'll tell you what was really good that I used to love on BBC, the Whitechapel series.
Whitechapel was really
Like
good.
a
The
modern
Jack the
version of
Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, yeah.
Yeah, it was really
man,
good.
It was so good. Anyway, yeah, so you meet Dr. Jekyll on there, and he's got his own like underground company where he goes around the world finding monsters and capturing them and making sure they don't get out into the world, which is how they end up meeting this guy. Well,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's character, and then because obviously the mummies escaped and stuff.
So is Tom Cruise's character based on anything from the actual other Mummy film, or
No, not really. No.
it's just a guy?
Yeah, he's a soldier on it. I suppose he's a soldier, and
Of course he is.
he hears about these treasures and stuff, and then
Of course he
they
is.
stumble upon this ancient.
Does he do a Tom Cruise run?
Yeah, he does a Tom Cruise run many times.
Yeah. Do we all know what we're on about with a Tom Cruise
Of
run?
course. Have you heard Family Guy make a joke of Tom Cruise? He's running away from his gay thoughts.
I forgot about
So
that.
funny.
But yeah, so you meet Dr. Jekyll on it, and then he does like a scan through like the whole of his like place, the world, yeah, and you see like a vampire skull and stuff. So obviously referencing Dracula, you see like the hand of what looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon hand, or like Swamp Thing. Yeah, there's just loads of little references in it, which would have been a good start to it. But the only problem was you've got Tom Cruise starring in it, which instantly makes it an action movie.
I was gonna
Like,
say
I'm
it
sorry,
sounds.
but it just does.
It sounds very action.
Yeah, it is action packed, and there's not much horror to it, which I think is what they're lacking. Because if you think about it, back in the 1940s, like stuff like Boris Karloff in The Mummy, and Boris Karloff was in like Frankenstein. He was known for all these horror movies that were really, really scary. Like back then, that
It was
like,
beyond what you could
Yeah.
think of, and that
You'd never,
when it was
you'd never
put on
seen anything
picture,
like it.
it was terrifying.
Yeah.
And, like,
So the
must
question
watch.
is it because it involves Tom Cruise that it's a bad film, or is it the fact that the actual visionary for the film was targeted wrong? They went for the wrong target
They
audience.
went for the wrong target audience. I think they thought, right, we've got Tom Cruise here in this film starring it, right? This is gonna get us an instant hit. But they didn't realise what comes along with Tom Cruise's action movies.
It's just basically Mission Impossible with a bit more mystical
with a
stuff.
mummy in it.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking at IMDb now, and it's the first genre listed under it: action, adventure, fantasy, and the last one is thriller.
So the horror's not even mentioned.
No.
So
No.
how can you reboot a horror franchise of like Universal Monsters and target it to people who like action movies?
Yeah.
Like the people who love the Universal Monsters are diehard horror fans. Like these are the people that absolutely love horror movies. Why would they want to watch a reboot of their like favourite like horror films
Yeah.
and being turned into an action movie? Do you know what I mean? Like if they want to target it to the right people when you're rebooting the Universal horror franchise, you want to make it for diehard horror fans because
Yeah.
you will get the money in from that. They'll love it. You've just got to make it scary, and like for nowadays, obviously, to get a film really scary, you've got to make it really scary.
Do you not think, because you're comparing it to the other monster movies where they actually did something dramatically different, because that was never seen in picture before, that it's got like too much of a pedestal to reach? Like they can't match the impact the other monster movies had.
Yeah, I guess in a way you're never going to be able to get the impact then because so many horror movies are being churned out now.
But wouldn't
like
the,
jump scare horrors and stuff?
Yeah, wouldn't the be so? The only thing that comes to mind weirdly is how when there's a film and they try and remake it like the classics, like with the phrases like the old films. So, like for example, like where they tried to do it with La La Land and they tried to make it like an old-fashioned film, stuff like that. So would it not be the approach then to be go like try and do that vibe instead. So instead of trying to make it scary as such and all that,
Yeah.
to aim to make it like an old film as such.
So what do you mean, like, when they're filming it, like, try and base it back in...
So yeah, do it in that type of thing, but not to go for like the scare factor, but to kind of go for the way that the cinematography and go in that aspect instead.
It's universal at the end of the day, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So they're just going to throw budget and go get the best camera, get this, rather than going, well, should we not use this type of camera and maybe edit it this way? Like, they'll just throw money.
They literally went all out for it. Like, you can, especially CGI wise, there's scenes in it where London's being plagued by the curse from this mummy.
Yeah.
And the whole of London's literally like upside down.
But the vibe's gone from it because it's not.
The vibe's gone from it because basically you've got Tom Cruise running away from the mummy in the middle of London. Yeah, doing a Tom Cruise run.
You'd think, like, with all that CGI and, like, the potential, you could make it different, scary, and, you know, like the old monster movies. So I was just looking on IMDb. The budget, like, Jesus Christ, 125 million.
And it flopped?
Yeah, and, like, some of the reviews seem like massive disappointments.
So that's completely wrote off the Dark Universe right now because they've not even posted anything on Twitter since that movie came out.
Yeah, so this was supposed to have the impact of this is what you can expect from this.
But that's why it flopped.
Universe.
When they heard about, obviously, loads of horror fans heard about the universe being rebooted.
Yeah.
They watched that and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
like,
if that's the direction,
you
don't want to do it. And I like what Marvel did, because let's face it, it's Marvel that gave everyone this idea.
Actually, the actual real original multi-universe idea, can anyone guess what it is?
Ooh. IT crowd. I just love the IT crowd, I don't want to mention it.
What's it running on? Vista. We're going to die!
I have no idea.
It was Freddy versus Jason.
Ooh.
You know?
That was the first original, apparently, multi-universe idea.
Though, because, so I get that, and it's the same like Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
But Marvel made an actual
success of it.
Schedule of you've got to watch Iron Man and then watch this, and then there's the Avengers, and so on, because that's what the comics did.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying when I say the Marvel method of.
Yeah.
A shared universe.
Question, was Friday the 13th under New Line Cinema?
Yes, originally. But the thing was, with the last Friday the 13th film, before, was it like Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And then you had Jason X as well after that.
Yeah, so you have that last cut scene where he has this mask in the sand and then it comes through and it's like Freddy Krueger's glove, grabs it and pulls it down.
Yeah.
It was from that film that was under New Line. Before then, it was under, I can't remember off the top of my head which cinema company it was with. But that's when they then decided to try and merge the idea of doing the Freddy versus Jason.
Got the rights to.
Yeah, so because New Line was originally Krueger, was the Elm Street franchise. That's what mainly what they were known for. That's when they then got Friday the 13th franchise as well, and that's where it went from there with it. Yeah, and obviously they then went on to be rebooted again. Yeah. Which we'll get into in a bit.
But what I was saying was like, I like that method. Marvel pulled it off well. I don't think everyone needs to do it though.
No.
It's becoming a disappointing thing because you set up something like this where you have all this potential for amazing horror movies that people love.
Yeah.
And it disappoints you. So then there's not going to be any investment towards rebooting those movies now that it's flopped and everyone's impression of it at the moment is, well, what's the point?
You need to get the right director as well. I'm not too sure who directed the Mummy film.
Shall I find out for you?
Yeah. You need to get a director who's in love with horror films, who loved the old horror films.
I mean, it needs to be the right vision.
But they've also got to want to do it. Alex Kurtzman did The Mummy.
What's he previously done?
He's previously done Sleepy Hollow. He was a producer. Star Trek, Transformers.
So action movies then.
Hawaii Five-O. Yeah, it's
sci-fi.
Limitless, Now You See Me.
There you go. So they've got an action / sci-fi director directing one of the first of the reboot of the Universal series of horror. Like, why? Why would you do that?
Who would you want? to direct a monster movie?
If they were to reboot...
James Wan.
Well, he's one of them.
Does he not do more paranormal and...
He does, but you got to think of the thrill factor you got from the first Conjuring.
It would, but it would be a good to do like several different directors,
like they all work together.
That they all work together to chip in maybe for like even like one movie. Because I think if they did a Phantom of the Opera reboot and they wanted to keep it scary but then appeal to an audience, because it's kind of like a musical as well in bits. Because you know nowadays they're going to try and milk a musical out of it.
Of course,
Phantom of the Opera. But obviously, like, if they wanted to make it scary, like a 15, but yet it was a musical as well.
It's like type of Sweeney Todd, but better.
Yeah, well, I think Del Toro will be perfect for that, because if you watch The Shape of Water, there's so many references to the creature of the Black Lagoon, and it's really good. It's not a horror film. I don't even know what you call that film, but he obviously he's massively into his horrors, isn't he? Like he's directed loads of horror movies. But I know because of the way that film went, he'd be perfect for like Phantom of the Opera reboot.
So you put forward him. I'm guessing you'd be putting forward James Wan.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I'd say Andy Muschietti, who did It. That's a monster movie in a sense.
Yeah.
That'd be
interesting.
That's a nice little combo. There you go. Just made it.
Well, I think you'd have to do it piece by piece, kind of like a chess game where, like, for example, the Marvel Universe, you start with Jon Favreau, who's done, obviously, did the Iron Man films, has now done Jungle Book and stuff like that. They started off with a good director, and because they built that platform, they could then move on from that. That's obviously how Marvel's then become its own thing. But I think from the first, like, phase one, as they call it, they had to go for directors that they knew would kind of make it a home run for them.
Yeah.
It's then they then took chances on like Taika Waititi, if you've pronounced it right, for like Thor Ragnarok and stuff like that. The more like independent film directors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how would you? So you'd obviously market it as more as a horror thing. In what order would you say you would have gone for like doing the Dark Universe? If you started with a Mummy and he did well, what would you go for next?
Well, obviously, the Mummy's like quite a big film, isn't it? Like, there's been a lot of Mummy films, so coming out with a new one, you've got to come from the approach like you've got to kind of make it original at least.
Make it its own thing.
Do you know what I mean? Make it its own thing and actually make it a horror. They're like, I don't know if you start with Dracula first, because again, there's loads of Dracula movies. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think people's perception of Dracula as well, they just sort of eye roll because it's been done so much. And
well, the old Draculas are really good, so you know what I mean. But one of my favourite Draculas was the Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman in it. That's perfect. Like, you've got it set back in like I think it's like the 1920s. You know what I mean? Or maybe even earlier, maybe
something like that, though, isn't it?
Something like that. But that is completely, obviously, because it's like it's very accurate towards the book.
Yeah.
And the cinematography in it and everything, the whole thing is just perfect for what a Dracula film should be. It's got the right amount of horror in it, the right amount of gore. Do you know what I mean? It's just perfect, just for a horror film.
If you were going to do it like a Marvel film, just referring back to it again, you'd have to then start with something which is like a B, C list character film.
Build on it.
And then working it from that. The reason Iron Man did so well is because obviously it wasn't...
It was a B superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they made it into a major thing.
Yeah, they had the rights to Iron Man because no one bought it when they went bankrupt.
Exactly.
So they made it a big...
Well, I think if they wanted to do the Universal thing, I think you'd start off with a Jekyll and Hyde film. So if they wanted to go along the similar routes of what they did with the Mummy, where they had... Because basically, if you think about it, Jekyll's kind of like an Iron Man character.
He's going to tie the whole thing together, isn't he?
Do you know what I mean? He's the main point where everyone's going to get tied around it. So obviously Iron Man created the Avengers, in a way.
Started the Marvel Universe. We'll go with that, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
the
get what you mean.
Avengers kind of based themselves around
Yeah.
Iron Man, because he's kind of bringing them all together.
Yeah.
Which is what Jekyll...
I'd say Jekyll's more than Nick Fury.
That's the one, I'd say the Nick Fury.
Could you imagine Samuel Jackson as Jekyll and Hyde?
I would love that movie.
But do you know what I mean? Like, they was going for a thing of where Jekyll was basically bringing all these monsters together.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to carry on with that, that's a good idea. That's one good thing out of that movie, because that could bring all the characters together and maybe tie it in with that. Now, I don't know about having like all the monsters though in films together. It'd be a bit weird.
Like, do you not remember there was a film with Sean Connery called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Like, it was based on like the Invisible Man and stuff like that.
I heard about this. I never.
And it was seen as like a really medium film. As a kid, I really enjoyed that film. I thought the concept was awesome. You had all these different things and stuff like that.
It could be very good, but it could be very messy as well.
It could be like...
Which is an issue with some of the...
That's when they get carried away with it and
yeah.
they just start churning them out. So I don't really know, actually. But I think maybe starting with the Jekyll and Hyde film would be a good idea.
It doesn't even have to have like all of them together. Maybe just separately, and then it just references one another. That might be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the monsters, I reckon that would be enough. It doesn't have to have them all together, because then what's the purpose?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So we're talking about reboots.
But
let's talk reboots.
Well, another thing with like the old films, it's weird because they got a lot of like the similar actors as the main roles to play the monsters. So basically, you know, like for Frankenstein, you had Boris Karloff, and he also played the Mummy.
Oh, right, okay.
Within the same universe. Yeah. And then I think, if I'm not sure, who is it now? It might have been Lon Chaney, I think it was, who played the Phantom of the Opera. No, that actually not the original.
Lon Chaney, and now he's sat podcasting with us right now.
Look at that.
Good old Lon.
Would you look at that?
Claude Rains, actually, sorry. So Claude Rains played the Phantom of the Opera, and then he also played the Invisible Man.
Ah, right, okay.
Which is crazy, you know what I mean? Getting like, especially when they're all based within the same universe.
Yeah.
The same.
That's a nice way to
actor
tie it in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
Subtle references as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start reboots. So what is everyone's like most disliked reboot currently of a film that you really like?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think we're all gonna go. Are we going down that route now?
And Friday the 13th wasn't that good either.
So anything done by New Line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very disappointing.
Unfortunately.
So I can start this quite easily on this rant. As you know, I'm a very big Elm Street fan. What the fuck is probably the best way to phrase it. So, on the premise of Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the big observations and air feelings about it is that the fact that they kind of played it too close to the original. But then the bits that they tried to change were too much of a step away from what the original idea was. But in the sense that it wasn't like, it would have been done and good to kind of completely come up with a brand new concept, no dancing or anything like that, so it wasn't like the first Elm Street film. Yeah. But then come up with better ideas and not changing what the characters' motives were and stuff like they did in the reboot, but just creating a different storyline, like a completely different timeline, if you get what I mean. Because if you're seeing it, you know what I mean.
Change it up.
Well,
because what they did with Kruger in the reboot was that they made him into a paedophile and they burned him for being a pedo.
I remember I got confused at that point because I was starting asking you, wasn't he a paedophile? And you're like, nope, that is the reboot.
Well, the best thing about the original is like you wondering like who this character is, like why is he appearing in people's dreams? They keep him like a mystery for like ages, which is similar to what they did with Michael Myers in Halloween. Like,
well,
Michael Myers
that was the whole thing.
Boogeyman, he's supposed to be a mystery. Like, why is he killing people? Which again is the same thing. And then obviously they went on and did the whole like Laurie Strode's his sister and he's killing it. Do you know what I mean? And
that's kind of where Elm Street strayed away from as well, because like in obviously the sequels they did with it was that they created all this backstory where like Alice Cooper played his dad and that his mum was a nurse at a mental asylum, and then one night she got locked in with all like the prisoners and got raped, thus for creating this lunatic Freddy Krueger character and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
And then no, it just strayed a bit too far away from it.
The look as well.
Which so I know I do agree with you. Like if I was to see a Nightmare on Elm Street like remake, I'd rather it be like just don't bother with a backstory at first. Just leave that completely out. Start fresh with different characters and just just trying to push maybe to a similar storyline, but just completely separate.
Everyone knows who he is anyway, so we're not dumb enough to go, oh, it's a reboot, so it might be something completely different. It's got the same name. We're not dumb.
Well, the only problem is like Robert Englund, man. Like,
Did everyone see his appearance in the Goldbergs? Like,
Yes.
yeah, it was
Yes,
great.
it
It was awesome.
Yeah, see that new Freddy Krueger again. You just can't.
It looks like a fish.
Ugh.
That looks like a fish.
That's a problem. Like, you can't get away with it. Like you can with Michael Myers, like putting a mask on someone. It's like Robert Englund's face is Freddy Krueger. Like,
Yeah.
Do you think it was? Now I'm sure back when it was made, we were probably begging for a new Nightmare on Elm Street at 2010. But now, in retrospect, that didn't need to be made
No.
because it just ruined your thoughts of it.
I think if it was done well, like it is like done with success and stuff like that, then maybe. I think the issue you've got is because it's with such a major line film company like New Line,
Who, usually
where the issue stands with it.
they usually provide solid.
They're saying that it came through Warner, which has obviously had all the issues with Justice League and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
etc. But that's a different story. So I've been brewing this in a while, where there is a few different ways I'd want them to reboot it if they were going to reboot it.
Right. Okay.
One is it's not a longevity bit where if they brought Robert Englund back for one film, but I know they would never stop with that, so then obviously that's not going to be a possibility because they're obviously going to go, oh, they've got this, let's make another and
We
another.
make money off it. Yeah, let's do it again.
Again and again and again. Which is why they're probably going to be another Halloween sequel after this one and go from there and there and then until they bleed it dry. So the reason why, obviously, I was just seeing this before, the reason why there's not been a Nightmare on Elm Street reboot is because they're doing The Conjuring. Conjuring's part of New Line as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to absolutely rake the Conjuring franchise, get everything they can out of it, which is why it's keeping kind of Freddy kind of in his boiler room for the meanwhile until in the future, tapping his claws on his table. The way I'd want to do it is two ways. Either they completely do like a different storyline where they make obviously Freddy a person. Hello, Ted. He's back. Ted is back. Yeah, so you make it a completely different storyline. Maybe I've written like Nancy as a character, but like as a B-side character, where she's older, she's had the experience of it. Kind of like what Nancy's mum was in the first Elm Street.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Have it like that parallel.
Halloween film.
Yeah, with like Laura.
Yeah. So it's kind of having that concept to it. The other alternative, which I don't know if you'll agree with it, they do a Netflix series of it.
Do you know what? I don't think I'd hate that because they did a Scream Netflix series.
I didn't like that.
I liked it.
I really liked it.
It was
I like the
MTV
first
college horror.
But right,
thing.
what was good about Scream was it was 90s and it was that sort of style. So,
But Scream 4 was type of like that, wasn't it? Because they got
Yeah.
rid of the whole thing. It was everyone with mobile phones, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's what they did in the series, and I really liked it. And then the last episode referenced Halloween, didn't it?
Yeah. I'd want that two ways. Either they do it like they did with Scream, and they make it
I
into.
thought that was good.
I actually generally thought they were going to make it into like a multi-universe where they'd make it into like they had Scream and then they'd have Elm Street as well.
Yeah.
Didn't
Like
they do a Nightmare on Elm Street TV series already?
No, they did. When it was obviously the original Elm Street franchise, they did a TV series called Freddy's Nightmares, where it was like these little short stories and like Brad Pitt made an appearance as one of the people getting killed off and stuff like that.
Alright.
The other way I'd want it to do it is if they did it kind of like in a Seven type-esque way, where it's a person finding all these killings.
Ooh.
And that you building on this where you don't know the killer until right at the end, where there was this twist and that obviously it's then Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And
You
that
don't see him until
You
the
don't
last
actually see
episode.
the murders until
No.
it goes back.
So how would they market that though? Because they couldn't market it as like a Freddy Krueger.
Otherwise
Well,
it'd
that's
be
the thing.
spoilers.
You wouldn't.
What do you call it?
I don't know. That's a different conversation. But can you think of the idea of
Would
where
it be spoiled though? You know, as soon as that series gets released, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, the new Nightmare on Elm Street series."
Well, if that was the
Disguised
case,
Mm.
would people not just view it as, oh, it's a cop out at the end? You get to say it's just Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I mean, might
It'll
not
get
be.
spoiled straight
Just-
away.
call
Yeah,
the series
there's loads. I think
Nightmares.
there's loads of holes to do with it.
That'd be a cool, like, changing it up like that is a great idea, though. Changing it up like
Or
that.
maybe having it where you knew that it was obviously Freddy Krueger as like your antagonist and stuff like that, but it was based on like the pre-trials, and obviously before they got him through like obviously for the crimes and stuff like that, and I mean it's like a prequel as such in comparison to obviously.
But then you'd obviously delving back into the backstory of it.
Yeah.
How would they do that then?
I think you'd have to do it more grit.
Paedophile side of Freddy Krueger again.
But he wasn't. He was a child killer. I think it was only in the reboot that he was a pedo.
But so I've been making like some horror stuff a while ago, and I was trying to think like what is the most frightening thing that's actually out, and it is a paedophile.
Yeah.
Because they prey on innocent people who cannot defend themselves, which is children. So I get why they went that angle. It's good, but it might have ruined.
I think it was just from the actual
fans' perspective.
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, it's kind of like it was too much of. It wasn't like a complete like U-turn on the character.
Yeah,
but
it was like twisting it.
Yeah,
a bit more to go. You've not made.
Let's modernise this.
Yeah, but to me, the idea of what's the most frightening thing out there. That, you know, isn't any monsters or ghosts that we don't believe in. It is fucking paedophile.
But I feel that's where they went wrong with it in terms of they kept it too much like the original in some senses, and in other senses they just kind of went too far left wing. And it's one of them where hearing myself say that, it's kind of like, well, is there a right answer to this?
It's kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's like, obviously you love your horror characters, but then like when they've done that to Freddy, it's like, can I actually like Freddy because he's a paedophile?
Well, it's because I think in the original franchise they made him so likable.
Well, to be honest, you both liked Ian Watkins if we listen to the last episode, so I'm just saying.
Careful.
Ian Watkins never murdered anyone, did he?
Yeah, it was crazy with Nightmare because obviously he's quite a scary character, and the horror film side of it was good, but he also had that little comedic side of it to make you like him.
But that's what kind of ruined it in the end. Like in the last film where it was like Freddy's Dead one, where he's like a video game character and he kills someone in the game, and he kills him and then looks at like the score points and then goes, "Oh wow, a brand of like my highest score," and things like that. Because then he gets his little control thing on his glove to then move it around and stuff like that. But yeah. I've completely lost my train of thought. I was about to say something.
Which I guess is kind of where they got the idea with Scream, like making Scream kind of like obviously scary, but.
But it was taking the piss out of itself, wasn't it? Because at the point where it was 90s and stuff like that, it was that the point where there was that many slasher films and all of that. Yeah. It was like, let's take the piss out of this franchise, this genre, and then build on that, which is what was good about it.
And then like overanalyzed horror films, even though.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
If they were to do it, I think whatever it was kind of like do a flip on what they've done. So don't change the actual intentions of the character and stuff like that. Don't mess with that, but actually change the storyline. Yeah. I think they just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, like you say, you could have gone like several murders. Several
Freddys.
And this person is arriving and seeing them. I think that would be a really good way of doing it.
I think that would be the best way of doing it. That. And having it where it's like, obviously, references to the old franchise. And when I say the old franchise, I mean just the first film.
And you've not got to, like, if they did reboot it down that route, get in contact. But it would just be subtle references that it's Freddy at first. And, like the choice of...
But I think if you did it as a TV series, I think the actual concept of it would work.
Yeah.
Because you've got enough there. If you didn't like do it like a full 22 like episode season stuff like, but doing like an 8 episode thing, and you built it up and all of that, I think that would work.
I think it would be really good. So that was a reboot you hated. Is there a reboot you've both watched that you like?
It.
Yeah, I was going to say it.
Yeah, definitely it.
There we go. I thought it was really good. One film that I was trying to think of what I would want to be rebooted. Although my favourite movie is The Shining.
There's already been a reboot.
No, it's not that I know of, has there?
No, there's not shit. I'm getting mixed up. I'm thinking of Psycho. Sorry, man.
No, it's alright. So, Stephen King hated The Shining film of Stanley Kubrick, but it got a cult following and everyone loved it. But there is apparently a sequel coming out at the end of this year that we spoke about, called Doctor Sleep. Now, I don't know too much about it.
Ewan McGregor's in it, right?
He is.
Is there no trailer or any promotional posters?
I've seen like behind the scenes shots of Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, not that I've seen. So the idea is, following on from the events of The Shining, a now adult Danny Torrance meets a young girl with similar powers and tries to protect her from a cult known as the True Knot, who prey on children. Sounds pretty decent.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to that rather than a reboot, because it's not ruining...
Or is this going to be like a horror / thriller or thriller horror?
It's going to be very similar to The Shining. There's the poster for it.
That looks pretty cool.
Let's have a look.
It does look really cool.
Oh, cool.
Is it an actual Stephen King book?
Yes, yeah.
So it's an actual sequel then to The Shining?
So I've been reading The Shining lately, and like how much more in depth that book is.
It's like it, isn't it? Like the first scene with George is like tons. Like it's not like
Takes ages to go through.
Yeah.
So that the guy that is directing it was an editor on The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh.
And Oculus.
Oh.
Should be very good. And Hush, if you ever watched that.
Yeah,
Hush was good. I've got like a lot of hope for that. Comes out on Halloween as well.
Neat.
Is there any film you'd want rebooted? Because you've just had your film that you want rebooted, I'm guessing. Halloween.
Yeah.
In the best way though, with the original director. And you all know, if you would have listened to episode...
The Halloween episode?
Which one was
Episode... No.
As you can tell,
4?
We know our episode. Yeah, 4. It was 4.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, then you know how much I enjoyed that film. But go back and before getting a tangent about it, just listen to episode 4.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I could talk for days about that.
I think we need a more in-depth Halloween one as well. Because at one point, this podcast was going to be us watching movies and talking through them. And it failed miserably at the first one.
Yeah.
We just get too involved in the movie.
Yeah, we're just watching it.
We've not spoken for 10 minutes.
Exactly. But I think we might have to do it for Halloween. And sort of do a commentary through it.
Yeah.
Just because how much you love that movie.
Yeah.
Nice little 6-hour podcast. The 1978 one and 2018. Book your day off.
Ted agrees.
Ted's down. Should we move on?
Yeah.
You're going to play your segment?
No, I'm going to like record it and then send it over and then we can pop it in now.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. That was that.
That is if you edit it. If I'm that fast at editing before I go to download.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, I know. But it's pet peeves.
Pet peeves?
Pet peeves.
So come on then, what's our pet peeve topic?
I think you wanted to do adverts, didn't you?
Adverts.
And we're not talking, this TV show's on a quick break. Here's the series of adverts that we're familiar with. We're talking, I'll go watch a YouTube video for free and here's 3 adverts in a row and then...
Oh, darn. It's gone so bad now,
here's
isn't it?
Another one. I get it, that's how they're making the money, but...
But fuck you for doing that.
It's gone way overboard, like Facebook videos now, like...
I had one of 2.
2 adverts in a Facebook video. Like, what?
Go on a Lab Bible article and click on that, and then you always like, press this video to see it, and click it. Advert. Fuck.
God.
It's getting worse and worse, but I kind of get it at the same time because it's the only way they can make money from it.
And like, just getting random adverts as well on my Facebook. Right, this is one I've been having recently.
Yes.
Viagra.
Yes.
Viagra adverts.
That one, and a strip club in Preston.
Yeah, and I've had that one as well. And it, like, hands down right now, I have not Googled Viagra or strip clubs on my phone.
I work in
Honestly.
Preston and I don't even get that strip club recommended to me.
I get like, Lucy, 22, is waiting for you.
I get those,
and it's weird that you're actually getting the same adverts as well. Like,
Yeah.
what is it with these like random Viagra adverts going in? Is it like...
What conversations have you both been having?
I know.
Viagra.
Because, like, quoting another podcast, on the Joe Rogan podcast, and there's a video on YouTube, it's like, start talking about something you don't have, and then you start seeing adverts for it around your phone.
Yeah.
So there's a video on YouTube, people going like, don't forget
babe, we've got to pick up that cat food. Oh, we've run out of cat food, and they just keep mentioning cat food around the phone. They don't have a pet, and then they keep getting pop-ups for cat food off Amazon and stuff.
Yeah, it's mad. Your
Ridiculous.
phone's listening to you, and you don't know it because it happened to me once. I had my phone in my pocket, and I was chatting to someone about holidays to the Great Wall of China, and just looking around that, and because they'd been to the Great Wall of China, I've not searched it on my phone. I was chatting about the Great Wall of China for ages, and I went home, and then like literally clicked on Facebook, scrolled down a little bit, boom, Great Wall of China. I was like, "Are you kidding?"
I've got an idea. If we keep saying the word coffee table.
Ooh.
Yeah, but mate, you searching
No.
coffee on your phone all the time. You need to do something unrelated.
Yeah, but I don't really.
Coffee sponsorship.
No, we
Coffee
can't do coffee
sponsorship.
because we always talk
Coffee
about coffee anyway.
endorsement.
If we're gonna do it, let's talk about something that we've.
So we've got to come up with something ridiculous.
Yes.
Like
Oh, there's not even a holiday destination somewhere.
anal beads.
No, I won't come up.
I've been.
I won't come
If
up.
Viagra come up, I'm hopeful for anal beads.
Right, just let's think of something like
Okay.
Wait, but do you know what's quite
holiday
ironic?
destination or somewhere.
Do you know what's quite ironic? So we're complaining about adverts on a podcast that we hope to future have sponsorship advertisements, but the ones we will have, hopefully, we support. Just a little
Exactly.
disclaimer
It's
there.
the right adverts.
It'll be coffee. That's all it'll ever
Yeah, it
be.
will be.
What about the pyramids in Egypt?
No, I'm thinking frying pan.
Ooh,
Frying pan.
Frying pan. Frying
How
pan.
many frying pans do you own?
Frying pan. Frying pan.
Right,
Frying
what sort
pan.
of frying pan you talking?
it's got to be a non-stick frying. pan.
non-stick frying pan.
Apparently.
Non-stick frying pan.
Frying pan. Frying
Man.
pan. Frying pan. Frying pan. Frying
I
pan.
wonder how that works with your phone though. When you're searching, like when you're talking about frying pans. I wonder where it like listens to that and then literally just like sends that to an advert. Like it's mental.
I would love if people are at home listening to this on their like
Frying
laptop
pan.
or something, and
Frying
they
pan.
look on their phone,
Oh,
frying
mate.
pans are just popping up.
The frying pans are taking over.
The inception of frying pans.
Frying
Panception.
pan.
I wonder what the biggest frying pan is that you can get. You need a pretty big grill for that frying pan, but I wonder how big the biggest frying pan is.
I'd probably say it's one for like a crepe. Do you mean a crepe frying pan?
Crepe frying
Crepe
Frying pan.
Frying pan. Frying pan.
Frying pan.
Frying pan.
Frying pan.
Frying pan.
No, we've not got for download a frying
We
pan.
have literally just lost about 10 listeners, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
All
more.
our
I
listeners.
mean, yeah, all our listeners.
This will be known as the frying pan episode.
Frying pan segment. Forget pet peeves. So we'll let you know in a couple of podcasts if we get any advertisements for
Hang on.
A frying pan.
frying pans. What are we looking for, Lon?
Frying pan, frying pan, frying pan, frying pan.
Frying pan, a pan, frying pan, frying pan. Frying pan, frying pan, frying pan, frying pan, frying pan, frying pan, frying pan. Frying pan.
And that was the frying pan section.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know what you sound like? Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah. Smelly cans.
Smelly guy.
Smelly frying pan.
Frying pan, frying pan.
Frying pan.
Thought I just had an advert for frying pans then.
We'll soon see. Laura, how many frying pans do you own?
You can
Where's
answer.
this podcast?
Why are you talking about
Are you
frying
telling
pans?
us you don't listen to our frying pan episodes?
This is our frying pan segment.
Well, basically, we're going on.
Tell us.
We're talking about how, like, when you speak about things that you've never even googled on your phone, like completely unrelated, that your phone listens to you, and adverts come up for those things. It's weird. so we're just talking about frying
We're
pans
going
now,
to see if
and then
frying pans pop up on
see if
our
the experiment
phones.
works.
Oh,
Ted knows.
TED Talks.
TED Talks.
TED Talks.
I should take a picture of the microphone with it.
Why have we never thought of that?
I don't know. There you go.
We took any other picture of him apart from that.
That's the cover photo.
Deal.
Done. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Laura. And that was Laura. Okay, thank
If you have to frying pan on.
Frying pan.
Frying pan.
Frying pan. Okay, we're getting sick of this section.
Yeah, we're
Right.
done with that.
That was a very small pet peeve section, but
I think that was. I don't think that was the end of the pet peeves
are
rant.
we still going? Let's
Yeah.
keep on going.
Worst type of adverts for me is, if you don't remember it, there was an advert back in like 2006-07 where it was the energy drink advert with the hills and the woman pops up at the end.
Oh God, I remember that.
Do you remember
Like a
that?
jump
Yeah,
scare.
man, that was
I
scary.
hate that advert.
I only knew that for like Bluetooth in it, people on phones.
Yeah.
Before you had internet access on your phone.
No, there was a film that we remember it was like the last week of you being in primary school and you just watch films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what film it was, but that was one of the adverts right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do you know what is quite annoying actually? I was watching, I think it was Storage Hunters the other day or something like that, and they literally opened a locker, looked inside of it, and went, "Oh my God!" and then adverts came straight on. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I want to know what's in there. Don't do this."
That's why they
I'm
do
gonna wait
it.
5 minutes.
Those are purposely placed.
Yeah.
It's like I'll be watching a YouTube video and it does the same thing. I'm like, oh, the bit I've been watching this video for. Advert.
Yeah, it's on Facebook as well. Where it gets like,
Unskippable.
and then they see this.
Yeah.
Bet 24. Fuck. Fuck off.
Oh. I understand it and I hate it all in one.
Yeah.
I get you and I respect you, but fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Like, I understand you're not making money otherwise, but
Yeah.
fuck you. Frying pans?
Frying pan.
All those frying pans.
Are you looking for frying pans?
Look at all those frying pans.
Yeah, no, nothing's come up about frying pans yet, but we've got time.
Absolutely. Let it run its algorithm.
Frying pan.
Me and you work in a phone shop, and the amount of times I've had a customer come in and go, "Do any of these phones listen to you?"
Oh
I
yeah.
go, yeah, they all have that capability. And then this woman went to me, "Well, I don't want them listening to me." I went, "What conversations are you having that you don't want them listening to you?" What is that?
That is an inflatable sloth
Download.
for download.
How you feeling about download while we're on this little...
Me, I'm really looking forward to download. The weather's not looking good, but
It's not.
Download.
no, let's not have
Don't jinx that.
2016.
I think I need a poncho as well. Like a
I've not
Noah
got a poncho, I've
Fielding
got my
Mighty
own.
Boosh
Yeah.
poncho.
Oh, yeah.
Mighty boo.
Never feel in a bad mood in a poncho, that's what I've been told.
Exactly.
And it's my birthday.
I mean,
so
we're
I
all
need to get
dressing up
messed
as nuns.
Yeah, we are.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Got our nun costume.
Oh, man!
That is the first one.
I mean, we normally do burps, mate, but yeah, go on, if you want to start that.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
rusty trombone.
This has probably been the silliest podcast, just
It is.
collectively as a three we've ever done.
Yeah.
Like with Smith, it was ridiculous.
We should have done this drunk. That would have been
Yeah. We will do a podcast drunk, guys. We will do that.
drunk cast. We should have done it the tuna the other week.
Oh, we need to do one after your gig. You've got a gig coming up with the tutor, haven't you?
Yes.
Do you wanna? When is that?
It is the 20th of July. We are playing a all-day festival at the Tudor in Wigan. It is the first gig there ever.
How much tickets?
Since it
man?
reopened.
It's free.
It's free. Free fucking music.
What other excuse do you want, man? Good drinks, good music, food as well, mate. They do good chip bands.
Damn good chip bombs.
And they have a nice beer selection. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
Stu.
Yeah.
We have a beer friend who is very stubborn about this.
Wigan's very own big.